too far away. We don't know what she has, but something. Yeah. Yeah.
It's done. It's done.
That one's actually correct.
Oh, I think it's still coming in.
It's okay.
Hold up a minute. Okay. Okay, well, we'll go ahead and call tonight's meeting to order. If able, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Mayor Pape,
Here?
Councilmember Shavetta,
Here.
Councilmember Kozmeyer,
Here.
Councilmember Hands,
Here.
Councilmember Caldwell,
Here.
Councilmember Leahy,
Here.
Councilmember Ryder,
Here.
Councilmember Silvers,
Here.
Councilmember Yodrich.
Here.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Next item up this evening is public items. Members of the public are encouraged to use this time to make comments about matters directly related to city's programs and services. Comments related to a matter or topic on the city council agenda that is the subject of a public hearing should be provided during the scheduled public hearing and not during the public comment period. Please note, individuals making public comments will be limited to 3 minutes. The city reserves the right to refuse public comments which are inconsistent with the parameters established within the governing body rules of procedure. We did have a blue sign-up sheet. I do have one individual currently listed on this, and that is Cindy Lombardo. Okay, if you'd come to the podium, give your name and address for the record, and tell us what you'd like to speak about this evening.
Absolutely. This is a short people podium. Good evening. My name is Cindy Lombardo. I got a notice from the city of Merriam yesterday, so I apologize. I had very short notice here from Alexis Brenneman. I have a small camper, a little vintage camper. It's like a 10-foot camper that I keep. I have a platform poured for it so that it's solid there. But anyway, I spoke to Alexis today, and she suggested that I plead my case with you. So I'm just going to hopefully have you look at something more circumstantially. I understand that it's code that your camper has to be behind the front elevation of your house, which I get. But I've got some photographs that I can share with you of where it is. I live on a cliff on the back of my house, so I don't have anything other than the front of my house. I also live, and I can show it to you on the map. I guess we're in Ward 4, but I don't know if you can see this here, but we're Hardy Street. I can bring it up and show it to you if you'd like to see it. But Hardy Street kind of comes this direction and then it stops. So if you're familiar with that area, I live down in the hole at the bottom of Hardy Street. So in order for you to see my home, you literally have to, you literally have to be coming to my home. So you can't see the camper from anywhere other than 2 neighbors. And so I reached out to both neighbors, and they would be happy to sign something saying, we love it, we don't care that it's there. So anyway, and then I also took photos of several houses within a mile, less than a mile of my house, that have what I would consider to be actual violations as far as like what aesthetically it looks like in a neighborhood. So piles of trash, cars piled up, 12-foot skeletons that are there all year round. You know, just things that I would think would not be something that we would want to have. I've been in Merriam for 7 years. I've had my house there, and I keep it very well cared for and well landscaped. And I guess what I'm hoping is that I can find an option to be able to leave my camper where it sits, whereas I don't think it's a hindrance or an eyesore in any form or fashion. It's completely renovated, smaller than my car. So anyway, I would just like to put that out to you to find out if that's an option for me.
Okay. Well, we'll turn that over to the Community Development Director to look into it and see, and he can
Do you
bring
need
back-
any of the photographs or anything?
Have you reached out to our, your Ward 4 council people?
No, I've just talked to Alexis.
To
He's the only
Alexis with the
friend of mine,
city.
yeah.
Okay.
Can you give us your address, please? You
Yeah,
didn't.
I'm at 6600 Hardy Street. I've also got, there's construction behind me. They're building a $2 million house in my little teeny neighborhood. I'm not sure why. It looks like a mall. But they've completely wiped out the whole ecosystem. I'm not here to complain about the house. The house is there, and it's just gonna be there. And the man is very nice, but, so it's really just about understanding that if this is about how it looks, and I haven't been able to use my backyard in 2 years because it's a construction zone. So I want to be a good neighbor, but I'm also hoping that I can find some accommodation for an exception to this, so.
Well, thank you for coming forward, and we've turned it over to your Ward 4 council people to
Thanks
look
for your
into
time,
it.
I appreciate it.
Thank you. Okay, there's the only person that currently that has signed up on the list. Is there anyone else out there this evening that would like to come forward? Yeah, please come forward, sir, and name and address for the record.
Good evening, Billy Crone, 6633 West Street, and my condolences to Cindy for the codes harassment she's facing from our city. That's unfortunate. I am speaking today regarding the memo item, the Downtown Master Plan Steering Committee. I looked through the agenda, I found the list of people on it, and there's a name that's missing that should stand out to all of you. You know, this agenda says you seek to include people that are residents, downtown stakeholders, business owners, elected officials, board members, people with experience in arts and community engagement. Who might be the most notable person downtown that not only lives there, owns a business, is involved in the arts, serves on boards, was actually on council for, what, 2 terms, 3 terms, something like that? Why is Dan Leap not on this list? You are completely capable of asking people, and I know you did, actually, who didn't sign up to be on it, but you asked them to be on it. You didn't ask Dan, did you, Bob? That's,
The list is as I do.
Yeah,
some
no, I
corrections
have
to
a
the
copy
list.
of it.
Yeah, well, I don't know if you have the recent copy.
yeah,
but go
I
ahead.
think it's negligent not to include him. If you were to ask him, if you were to pass this tonight, throw his name on the list, I guarantee he would accept and he would be on that committee and be happy to do so. So I encourage you to stick to your words that you put that says that the things that you think are important in the committee members. Actually be truthful in that and add Dan to the list. He would be a good voice to have on that committee. Yeah, thanks.
Okay. All right, is there anyone else who would like to come forward at this time? Okay, I see no one coming forward at this time, so I'll close out the public portion of that meeting. Next item up this evening is consent agenda. All items listed under this heading are considered to be routine by the City Council and may be enacted by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a council member so requests, in which case that item will be removed from the consent agenda and considered separately. We do have 2 items this evening on the consent agenda. Is there any council person that would like to have one of these items removed, or are we good? Okay, I see nobody wanting to have anything removed. Well, I would entertain a motion for that. Mr. Silvers.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to move that the council approve consent agenda items 1 and 2.
Okay, we have a motion. We have a second. Ms. Schauder.
Mr. Mayor, second.
Madam Clerk, we have a motion and a second.
Councilmember Shavetta.
Aye.
Councilmember Kuzmeyer.
Aye.
Councilmember Hands.
Aye.
Councilmember Caldwell.
Aye.
Councilmember Leahy.
Aye.
Councilmember Ryder.
Aye.
Councilmember Silvers.
Aye.
Councilmember Yodridge.
Aye.
Motion passes 8-0.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Okay, so next item up this evening is the mayor's report. And the item that we're going to be speaking about this evening on initially here is confirm the appointment of the Downtown Master Plan Steering Committee. There is been, anybody that might have downloaded that early on Thursday might have a different list, but the list that's currently in the packet right now is the correct list. And those Anna Perrin and Meredith Reynolds were initially not on that early list, but have now been put on the list and is in our packets. I do have a couple things, and I'm glad it was brought up this evening about this did require a lot of discussions and a lot of looking at who should be on this committee. And as I had promised, I would put people in a variety of positions itself on the committee. So I'd like to read my little comments here as to why I picked the people I did pick. We have been dealing with flooding issues in downtown for decades. However, for the last several years, we've been working closely with the Corps of Engineers to develop a plan to get downtown out of the floodplain. They are bringing forward a 65% plan to address this issue. We have also contracted with HNTB, an engineering firm, to look at other alternatives to the court plan. We are at a stage where it is time for us to put together a steering committee to look at the options available to us and develop a downtown master plan. We have conducted surveys, several surveys, and sought out the desires of our community. As a result, I felt it was imperative to get a wide range of individuals that could look at multiple perspectives of what the vision for downtown might become, taking into consideration existing businesses, our history, and the future that could bring new business and potentially additional residential opportunities. I've reached out to numerous individuals in an effort to develop a well-rounded committee that addresses many areas of interest and concerns. I propose to the council the list I've submitted for your consideration. You will find numerous downtown business owners, the president of the Downtown Partnership, several planning commissioners, several council members who were selected based on their expertise or the fact that it is in their ward, various long-term residents who have expressed interest in being on this committee, and pertinent city staff who assist as technical advisors. Although the list is long, I felt strongly that everyone selected brings a unique perspective that needs to be heard. This committee would be tasked with something that would be transformational and have an effect on generations to come. There were others who I did reach out to and were interested, but ultimately not selected because they had conflicts with the day or date selected. I want to thank all those individuals who were either selected or expressed an interest in being on the committee. We have a phenomenal community that ultimately wants to see Merriam succeed in being the best community in Johnson County. So before I call for any motions or anything, I'd like to ask if there were any questions from the council of concerning this list. Okay, anybody this way? Any questions? Okay, well, I see no questions. I would entertain a motion. Ms. Yandridge.
Mr. Mayor, I move that the council confirm the appointments to the Downtown Master Plan Steering Committee in accordance with city policy.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second? Go ahead, Ms. Shveta.
Mr. Mayor, second.
Madam Clerk, we have a motion and a second.
Councilmember Kozmeyer.
Aye.
Councilmember Hands.
Aye.
Councilmember Caldwell.
Aye.
Councilmember Leahy.
Aye.
Councilmember Ryder.
Aye.
Councilmember Silvers.
Aye.
Councilmember Yodridge.
Aye.
Councilmember Shveta.
Aye.
Motion passes 8-0.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. As also as a mayor's report, I always like to talk a little bit about things that have gone on in the last 2 weeks for myself and for other council members. I made a 7 days of kindness video. I would encourage everyone to make a ripple of kindness that changes the world. I and Caitlin got to speak to the kindergartners at Crestview Elementary. I got to explain to them what a mayor does and how a city operates. They were already very knowledgeable, and I'm here to say that the future of our society looks bright. We even played a game called Mayor Says instead of Simon Says. I finally had to say that 6 to 8 kids were all winners because I couldn't get down to just one. I couldn't fool them. I and a couple council members attended the FIFA 2026 kickoff event for Johnson County at the Overland Park Convention Center. The county and the whole metro area is really coming together on that project. I and council members attended the ribbon cutting ceremony for Zen Donkey. They're located at Advent Health Cancer Institute building. They offer a variety of smoothies and healthy food alternatives. We want to welcome them to our community, and I encourage everyone to go out there and give them your business. I attended the Johnson County Wyandotte County Mayor's Dinner. It was hosted by Mayor Mickey Sandifer and Shawnee. As always, we discuss things happening in each city, what bills are currently being discussed in the Kansas legislature. And we had Mayor Quentin Lucas attend our meeting, and he gave us an update of all the things that's going on down in Kansas City, Missouri, and of course, what's going on with FIFA. And we even talked a little bit about the Chiefs and the Royals. But I and staff met with Johnson County property appraiser. She showed what our appraisal values are in Merriam and what is happening in other cities in Johnson County. Our values, I think, increased. I didn't write this down, Mr. Engel, was about 6% average, wasn't it? Yes, sir. This is obviously good and bad news scenario. Those who disagree should always appeal their appraisal value. They do. It does make a difference if you appeal. I met with an art committee member who wanted to introduce me to a Merriam resident who's interested in being on our art committee. He's very interested and would make a good addition, I think, but I need to meet with Director Slocum before we appoint that individual or consider him for that committee. She's kind of taken over in Smo's absence now since he retired. I and council member attended a retreat where we learned about how each other operate in our core tendencies. I'm a council member and worked with Mr. Engel to develop tonight's agenda. I did an interview with Ms. Guard while eating varying degrees of hot wings. Evidently, it was their attempt to make me sweat, but they were mild and it really didn't faze me. So I attended the Northeast Johnson County Mayor's Luncheon. It's hosted by Mission Mayor Sally Flora. We discussed what's going on in each of our own cities and the legislation being proposed at the state level. A reminder to everyone that the Merriam Tree Limb Pickup starts this week, or started today, actually, and continues throughout the week. Be sure to get your limbs to the curb, and our public works crews will pick them up and dispose of them. And on that note, I'm also proud to say that I got a letter in the mail from the Arbor Tree Foundation saying that we are again for 2025 Tree City USA. So that concludes my report. Is there anything I missed for the council that I should point out? Okay. All right. Well, that concludes my mayor's report. First item up on council items is approve a resolution and subsequent release of leases. And we've got Mr. Engel coming to the podium for this one.
Thank you, Mayor. Council, these next two items are very, very similar in nature, so I will just go into detail heavily on the first one and then very briefly on the second one. The first item on the agenda is approve a resolution and subsequent release of liens with MGS Lofts LLC. On August 14, 2023, City Council approved an ordinance issuing industrial revenue bonds in amount not to exceed $2.25 million for the purpose of awarding a sales tax exemption, granting a sales tax exemption to the parking structure over at Merriam Grand Station. So MGS is Merriam Grand Station Lofts, the parking portion of that as opposed to the residential construction part of that. As part of the IRB process, with all IRBs that get issued, the city takes a leasehold interest in the property that is the subject property, and then it is through a base lease, and the lease agreement is leased back to the public-private partner. And upon adequate notice, once the bonds have been fully paid and all the other obligations have been released, we have to release them from the terms of both of those agreements. That is what this is. Those industrial revenue bonds, all of the obligations have been met by MGS Lofts, and they're asking us to release them. What you have in front of you is a resolution to actually make that occur that has been drafted by Jacob Lowry, our bond counsel with Kutek, who is here. I also have Scott Miller with Drake here representing MGS Lofts in the back. Pretty simple step here, but happy to answer any questions that you may have about that, or they would also.
Any questions for Mr. Engel? Or? Okay, I see no questions that way. I see no questions this way. Okay. All right. Well, at this point then, if there's nothing on that one, Ms. Shondrich.
Mr. Mayor, I move that the council approve a resolution authorizing the sale and conveyance of the Merriam Grand Station Commercial Parking Project, the execution of a release of leases, and further authorizing certain additional related actions in connection with the city's not to exceed $2,250,000 industrial revenue bonds series 2023 issuance.
Okay, we have a motion. We have a second. Okay, go ahead, Ms. Sveta.
Mr. Mayor, second.
Okay, Madam Clerk, we have a motion and a second.
Councilmember Hands.
Aye.
Councilmember Caldwell.
Aye.
Councilmember Leahy.
Aye.
Councilmember Ryder.
Aye.
Councilmember Silvers.
Aye.
Councilmember Yodrich.
Aye.
Councilmember Shavetta.
Aye.
Councilmember Kozmeyer.
Aye.
Motion passes 8-0.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Looks like you have probably the next item too, Mr. Engel.
I do, yes, sir. Thank you. Next item on your agenda, very similar. This is approval of a resolution and subsequent release of leases with Trident Merriam LLC. What I didn't say the last time, but would apply to that one, I just didn't say it, is that this is the culmination of a successful public-private partnership with both of these entities to, as it is a council goal, to work with existing businesses and expand the commercial tax base. Both of these accomplish those goals, and so we are very, very proud to have those in front of you. So I apologize for not mentioning that, but it applies to both of them. So this one on August 12th, 2024, City Council approved an ordinance providing a sales tax exemption through the use of industrial revenue bonds in the amount not to exceed $10,160,380 to Trident Motors, which is the company also known as Aristocrat for their Mercedes-Benz brand expansion over at 67th and I-35. That project, very similar to all other IRB projects. The mechanism to make that occur is we enter a leasehold interest into that property, and then through a base lease and lease agreement, we take title to that property, or not title property, we take control of that property until all of the obligations have been met. Upon notification that those obligations have been met in confirmation, we release all of those leases. That's the same occurrence that has happened with this development as in the previous item. Same as the last, Jacob Lowry, Kutek Rock, worked these agreements up. He is here, happy to answer any questions, as is Pete Heaven, who is here representing the client. Happy to answer any questions about that.
Okay, does anybody have any questions for Mr. Engel concerning this one? Nothing that way. I see nothing that way. Looks like somebody might need to come forward. I would entertain a motion at this point then. Shadridge.
Mr. Mayor, I move that the council approve a resolution authorizing the sale and conveyance of the Mercedes-Benz project, the execution of a release of leases, and further authorizing certain additional related actions in connection with the city's not to exceed $10,160,380 industrial revenue bond series 2024 issuance.
Thank you. We have a motion. Do we have a second? Go ahead, Ms. Shveta.
Mr. Mayor, I second.
Okay, Madam Clerk, we have a motion and a second.
Councilmember Caldwell.
Aye.
Councilmember Leahy.
Aye.
Councilmember Ryder.
Aye.
Councilmember Silvers.
Aye.
Councilmember Yodridge.
Aye.
Councilmember Shavetta.
Aye.
Councilmember Kozmeyer.
Aye.
Councilmember Hands.
Aye.
Motion passes 8-0.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Looks like next item up is our financial update. We got the director coming forward. Okay.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. In front of you is the February report. I have nothing major to report out from that. Everything is looking as would be expected or better, which is a great place to be. I know Caitlin spoke a little bit about the end of year financials. We are currently going through the audit, so I will have that for you this summer like normal. The auditors will be here the first full week in April on site, so if you're curious, you want to meet them, feel free to stop in. They would love that, but otherwise they will be here the whole week, and we will report out hopefully in June, like tradition. I don't have anything to report on transient guest tax at this point. I'm still waiting to hear back from the state. I anticipate their audit that they're conducting should take at least another month, but as soon as I hear something, I will make sure to present that to you guys.
Any questions for Director Borth?
Thank you.
No questions. Thank you. Next coming up is a community development update. Looks like we have Director Dyer coming to the podium.
Good evening, Mayor, Councilmember, Brian Dyer, Community Development Director. This evening, got a quick update on the grants. We've had those open for a couple of months now. Just want to let you know where we stand on those. Residential exterior grants, got 18 applications in for that. So if folks are looking to do any types of improvements to the outside of their house or property, we still have funding available for that. So please send folks our way. Same thing on the sustainability grant, couldn't get out there. We've had 6 applications in for those. However, with the latest warm weather we get, we'll probably start getting some more of those in. But again, that's a great opportunity for folks to upgrade their HVAC, windows, other systems like that to make their homes more sustainable. Property tax rebate, that's the program in which the city rebates the city's portion of property tax, so those who are income eligible. About 25-ish applications been coming in, which is about the same level as we had last year, but we still have about $30,000 in unallocated funds on that, so that's a great opportunity for folks to come in and get some money back on their property tax. Again, that is an income eligible program. Same thing with our franchise fee rebate program. That's a program in which the city rebates the city's portion of the franchise fee that is on electrical, gas, and telephone bills. Again, that is also income-based. And the last thing I have is our driveway grants. Again, if you remember, we kind of switched that program up a little bit, kind of tiered it. We did put out a driveway bid packet that included 5 residential driveways. All those driveways were folks that were income eligible to have their whole driveway replaced. We're waiting for the results of those bids to come back. Will be first part of April to see if there's any money left over to go down to the next level of folks. With that, I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Okay. Any questions for Director? Go ahead, Ms. Sands.
I had a, excuse me, a recent question about the 7-Eleven property on Antioch. Has there been any additional activity that you know of about selling the property or anything new?
Nope, the only thing I know is that we did have a conversation with their maintenance folks, and they took down the non-conforming pole sign, they took that down, so, but other than that, no, corporate has not given us any information about what they intend to do with the property.
And zoning-wise, it is zoned for
It is commercial zoning.
just flat
It's-
commercial,
I believe
no
it's
exceptions?
C2, if I remember right.
Okay. All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions? Director Alfred? Oh, guess not. Good. All right, well, looks like we have Ms. Gard coming up to give us a update on the single hauler.
Good evening. I'm sorry about my voice. I do have 3 things that I want to update you all on. However, for single hauler, the first is that the Highlights magazine will be hitting mailboxes next week, I believe. It has some information regarding the upcoming single hauler program. It does not have specific answers to questions like what day of the week is my trash going to be picked up, or route scheduling. Sorry, guys. However, we're working with GFL right now to come up with those solutions. The second one is we're sending out a direct mail to any property owner that has multiple addresses per parcel. They're going to be assessed per address point, not per parcel. So we want to make sure that they're aware of that. And then finally, we're going to be sending a letter to all of the other existing trash haulers, notifying them officially of the end date of October 31st. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions for Ms. Gard? Go ahead, Ms. Sands.
Because I got a question this last week. I'm wondering if we're getting a lot of questions about trash in general, GFL. Fingers is fine. 3 questions,
Not
15.
necessarily.
Not really?
They've actually slowed down, to be honest.
Really? Okay. So now they're calling me instead?
I suppose, please pass those along, though. We'd be happy to help.
Oh, I know. Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, all right. No more hot sauce for you? Okay, well, let's see. The next items up are informational items, Planning Commission minutes and Public Art Committee minutes. Those were in our packets. Unless you have a question concerning any of those for Director Slocum? No? Okay. Well, Mr. Engel, do you have anything from staff?
Just 2 quick updates. Wanted to make sure that we acknowledge and the council is aware that longtime volunteer Lavera Howard passed away, unfortunately, a couple weeks ago. She has a celebration of life this coming Saturday at Amos, I believe, in Shawnee. But she was on our park board and on the foundation and Flags for Freedom, and gave a lot of her time and effort towards Park and Rec, but the city in a whole. And so just want to make sure that that was acknowledged. Second one is Mayor's got the curbside limb pickup this week, but State of the Cities, which is Chairman Kelly's essentially year in review of the state of the county, will be April 14th, which is a Tuesday at the Olathe Conference Center. Please let us know if you're interested in attending that event. I think we have about 5 or 6 folks that have said that they're interested in attending. Happy to answer any questions you may have.
Any questions for Mr. Engel? My gosh, no questions. Well, we are just moving right along here. We have no executive session this evening. Okay. That leaves us at adjournment. Who would like to make that motion? Ms. Aldridge.
Mr. Mayor, I move we adjourn.
We have a motion to adjourn. We have a second? Sweet. Ms. Hands.
I want to second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Madam Clerk.
All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting's adjourned.
Only send us Captain Waters.
I think I talked to her like